So I do have a few things I'd like to share with you before we move into the sacred ceremony for this evening. And I promise I'll be brief because I know there are several of you that are sitting out there going, okay, come on, wrap this up. I want to get to the burning. And we'll get there, I promise. But tonight is all about tearing down and rebuilding anew. It's about cleaning the weeds out of the garden of your soul and replanting with beautiful flowers. It's about the power that we have to build our life anew in every moment. It's about the truth that we get to choose our experiences, that we get to choose how we interact with the world around us. And you know, this is nothing new. These aren't earth-shattering revelations that I'm sharing with you, because countless great unity teachers have come and shared the same idea with us. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore are co-founders, Reverend Johnny Coleman, Reverend Eric Butterworth, and many, many more. All of these individuals have come and taught us about the power of releasing and affirming and replacing our old thoughts with new thoughts about what we are. It's an ongoing process. And as we spiritually evolve, we shed our old habits and we give birth to new ones, to new light that shines within us. You see, tonight is our opportunity as a community to take part in a sacred ritual. It's a sacred ritual that allows us to shed those things that no longer serve us and really connect with the light that we are so that we can shine that light in an even greater way as we move into 2015. Now, before we get into the burning and the sacred ceremony of the evening, there's just a few things I'd like to share with you. And the first is that it was Aristotle, the famous scientist and philosopher, who first said that nature abhors a vacuum. And he based this idea on his observation that anywhere he looked, he noticed that things would rush in to fill that open space. Whether it was just colorless air or water or whatever it was, nature would not let a space to just stay empty. And that's important for you to remember as you release tonight. Because this isn't just a law of nature, but it's a spiritual law as well. You see, if you do the work to release, but you don't create the new things to fill up what you've just released, well, you're leaving open the space for those things that you've just let go of to come right back to you. Now, unity views the scriptures as an allegory for our own personal spiritual growth. So we find in them stories that remind us of our own spiritual journey. And one of my personal favorite stories from the Gospel of Luke that helps illustrate this idea happens in Luke chapter 11, verses 24 to 27. And it's one of our Jesus stories, and Jesus is talking with his disciples. And the disciples are asking him about cleaning out demons and spirits, unclean spirits from houses. And Jesus talks about his process and how he does it, but it's what he says after he talks about clearing out a demon that I find so interesting. Because what he says is the spirit will leave, it will wander around, it will explore the desert, but it won't find anywhere new to live, and then it comes back to the house. And if it finds the house clean and well organized, but ultimately empty, it takes up residence there again. Now, as we release tonight, in no way, shape, or form do I think, and I hope any of you think, that we're sending demons out from us. That's not what I'm getting at. But what we are doing is we're letting go of those things that no longer serve us. And if we don't take the time to replace them with the Christ light that we are, we stand to have the opportunity that those things come right back to us, and then we have to release them again and go through this process of letting go again. So make sure that whatever it is that you're releasing tonight, that you follow up that releasing with an affirmation. See, that's why this evening we have the opportunity for you to write the letter to and the letter from God. So immediately after you release, you have the opportunity to boldly state and set your intention for how you're going to shine your light in 2015. Well, you always want to follow that releasing with an affirmation. And so what is it that we should be releasing in the first place? What is it that we want to be letting go of? Now, first and foremost, the most important thing to remember as you're writing out in your flash paper what to release is that God already knows. God knows what it is that you're wanting to let go of. So you can write any symbol, you can write any sort of code. Kelly, if you want a Zentangle all over your flash paper, you go right ahead and do it, because God already knows what it is that you're releasing tonight. But the second thing I want you to know is that it really has to do with your intention as you release. You see, it's the intention you hold towards the things that you're letting go of. So as you create your statement of release, as you create your lists, remember that you're not denying the existence of the thing, but instead what you're denying is that this thing has any power over you. And this is a very important distinction to make. Let's see, let me give you an example. The staff here at Unity Church of Overland Park, we love chocolate. We consider it to be one of the most sacred items in the world. In fact, no, you can applaud. We can always clap for chocolate. In fact, one of the most sacred duties each of our interns is tasked with undertaking is providing the staff with chocolate for our meetings. Now, let's say that as a staff, we decided that we were going to let go of that. We wanted to release the power that chocolate had over us. We wanted to release our whole...
This is just for, you're just illustrating a point, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just illustrating a point. We're not getting rid of chocolate in 2015.
The board doesn't know anything about this?
No, this isn't a directive from the board or anything. This is just an example.
Policy is firm?
Yes, no, the interns are still required to bring chocolate as a part of their, no. So clearly we really like chocolate. The thing is, if we decided we wanted to release that, if we make the statement that we no longer like chocolate, well, I think you've all now seen how ridiculous a statement like that is. Clearly, we like chocolate. If we make the statement, I no longer crave chocolate, that's also ridiculous. Clearly, we're still craving it. But if we make the statement, I release the power that the chocolate has over me, well, that's something completely different. Because now what we've done is we've taken the power back. We've brought it back into our court. You see, when you do this, you open yourself up to the truth that the chocolate or whatever it is that you're wanting to release is only a part of your life when you allow it to be a part of your life. You see, phrasing that release statement in that way, in the way of, I release the power that this has over me, allows you to take your power back. The power's no longer with the chocolate or whatever it is. It's with you, the person who had the power to begin with. So phrasing these things as a statement that's easy for us to believe is helpful. You know, it's almost as if you were deciding that you wanted to quit smoking. And so I want you to imagine the absurdity that's involved if, as you're standing there trying to quit smoking, saying, I'm not a smoker, I'm not a smoker, I'm not a smoker, as you're lighting another cigarette. Clearly you are, and that's okay. But instead, if you phrase it as, I release the power that these cigarettes have over me, then it's your choice. You begin to take your own power back. You begin to affirm the truth that you're in control of the situation. And so tonight, as you burn those things that no longer serve you, know that you're releasing not just the thing itself, but the power that it has over you. And so as you let go, no matter what it is that you're letting go of, know that you're releasing the power that it has to control your life. And as you release that power, that you are free and you are ready to confront 2015 to be the best you can be in the coming year.
Surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every breath I take is taken in pure faith, and I am wiser every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every choice I make is made in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good, and I'm more loving every moment, every day, and I'm more peaceful every moment, every day.
And so as we prepare to move into our ceremony for this evening, I'd like to ask if there's anybody out there that didn't receive a packet or something to write with. If you raise your hand, the ushers will bring one of the packets with the flash paper and stationery on it to you. All right. All right, just go ahead and keep your hands up, and they'll get you. But while they're doing that, why don't you go on and talk about the flash paper?
In a moment, we're going to be taking time for meditation. And you'll have time at that time to write down any of those things that you want to release. And then we invite you to come forward as you are ready. As you are ready. And then there will be ushers at the front who will guide you to one of the burning bowls.
And now you might notice that there's not a whole lot of space on the flash paper. That's okay. As I said earlier, God knows what it is that you're wanting to release. So just a brief word or a phrase or a wonderful Zentangle design will be sufficient. And I know that some of you might have entire notebooks that you'd like to burn this evening. You're more than welcome to burn them later, but we do ask that only flash paper go into the burning bowls in front of us tonight.
And also to remind you that there are candles in the containers, and there is a grate over that. All you need to do is drop in your flash paper. It may go immediately, or it may take a little bit. But please, no matter what, do not reach in and try and move the paper.
Yeah, you would think we wouldn't have to say that, but it's important to not reach in. And if your paper doesn't ignite right away, that's okay. Sometimes they kind of float around in the cans. If that happens, we have incredibly sacred and blessed tools that our ushers will use to move your paper closer to the flame so it will ignite.
In addition to the flash paper, you also notice that you have a piece of stationery and an envelope. And we're going to be taking time to write a letter to God and also a letter from God. A letter to God about what are your very highest callings and aspirations for the year 2015. What is it that's really stirring within you from the core of your being? And then we'll turn that paper over, and after another short meditation, really listen in and allow God to just fully love you at depth. And then we will put both of them in an envelope.
Yeah, you want to make sure that the envelope that's in your packet, that you address that to yourself. And then as you leave this evening, the ushers will collect those letters. In about 6 months, the church is going to mail them back to you. And it happens every year. I get a letter from Unity Church for Overland Park, and I look at it and I go, what is this? And then I open it. Oh, it was the letter I wrote at Burning Bull. And it's amazing how much has transpired in my life since I wrote that letter.
Yes. In order to really hold the sacredness of this evening too, I want you to know that there are prayer chaplains in each of the 4 corners of our sanctuary, as well as ringing the perimeter of this. And they will also be available afterwards for prayer. But just feel yourselves being held in this sacred container of prayer.
Right, and so before we move into the sacred part of our service, does everybody now have a packet and items to burn? Wonderful. All right. Well, I'd like to invite you to prepare as Kelly leads us into this evening's sacred ceremony.
Dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and the green was easy and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and peace spread over the land.
And so right here, right where we are, we feel ourselves begin to relax into this moment. If you haven't already, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes, to allow the seat to support you, to feel any energy, any tension just gently drain out of your body, beginning with your feet, feeling them relax. As your legs and your body begin to relax into this moment, right here, right now. Right now, where we know there is only God. Knowing that the things we dream of begin to appear. We take a breath in, breathing in the power and presence of God. We allow the breath to flow out of us, exhaling the power and presence of God. Knowing that right now, right here, right where we are, God is. And as we focus on that power and presence of God, on the divine radiance shining from within us, we feel the noise in our brain begin to quiet down. Our minds still. As we take the journey of just a few inches from our head down to our heart space. And in this moment, we invite our hearts to lovingly reveal to us all that is ours to release, to reveal to us those beliefs that no longer serve us, those habits that we're ready to move beyond. And as something comes up, we make a note of it on our paper, knowing that the power and presence of God knows the entire details of what it is. Knowing that as these things come to us, we bless them. We're grateful for the experience we had with them, and we let go, knowing that they no longer have power over me and my life, knowing that the presence of God guides and directs me, knowing that that presence supports me in becoming all that I am to become. We're grateful for the things we're ready to let go of. And as a new thought comes through, we gently make a note of it, continuing to hold the space of silence, of stillness of God, of the still small voice that's roaring through us. And so at this time, I'd like to invite the ushers to take their places. And as you're waiting to come forward and to release that which is yours to release, we ask that you hold the space of silence and stillness for those that are still working, for those that are still having the revelations of God come forward to them. And so I invite you to come forward now to release all that is yours to release. And as you come forward, please come forward by either the center or the outside aisles, and then return to your seats by these two inner aisles. And you may come forward as you're ready. And if you are in the balcony, please just come forward as you feel led. And so it's done. We've released and let go, and we claim the spiritual truth that all that was released here tonight no longer has power over us. And we move forward boldly now, ready to set our intention for all that is ours to come in the coming year.
I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and the way was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and the way was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars were shining and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and peace spread over the land.
And I want you to feel into this moment, dear ones. We've just let it all go. It's all gone. And this very moment, I want us to savor tonight. It's all released. And now we are going to begin to intentionally co-create that which we are calling forth for this next year. So feel this moment, this clean slate, this new beginning, this fresh new beginning. And as you do that, I invite you to take out your stationery. We're going to, in a moment, take some time to write on the front side, first of all, is a letter to God. I now dwell in such a place of freedom, of new beginnings, of opportunities, of released past. And I open to that movement of spirit, and I dream boldly, lavishly. I do not see obstacles, I see opportunities. And I listen in with new ears to hear what it is that's being called forth this day. I open myself fully so that I may know Spirit's intention for me. How does God desire to express in and through me? How am I to be in the coming year? What is my life to be like? What is mine to do? How is the world going to be different because of me being in it? I ask the wisdom within me now to guide me in establishing my intentions for 2015. I am completely free of all fear and all limitation. And I am filled with faith, knowing Spirit will sustain me and support me in all I am to do. I listen to the wisdom of my soul as it speaks. You may wish to write, start your letter simply by, Dear God, in whatever way, continue to write now as you listen deeply to Spirit. This is how I would like to see my year. These are the things that I would like to explore, to do. I open for new opportunities. I listen. Just another moment. And if you're not yet finished, don't worry, because there will be plenty of time later.
I dreamed of heaven and the earth same, and the sound was easy and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth same, dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land.
And so now I invite you to turn over your piece of paper as we write our letter from God to us, from our highest self to us. That letter, for you know, we are so divinely loved. God is love, and that is who we are. And so now I invite you to settle in and to open and listen to the stirrings within you. What is the sweetest love letter that your soul longs to hear right now? What are the words? What is it? What is it as we open to that movement of spirit that becomes that sweet balm to our soul? And as you get in touch with your God heart, just open and allow Spirit to speak. You can start your letters, dear beloved, my precious child. What is it? What is it that is being spoken to you this night? Let us write. And when you are finished, you may place the letter in the envelope and address it to yourself. And on your way out, you may leave the envelope at one of the exits. And if you wish to remain after the service and continue to write your letters, that is perfectly fine. But for now, let us take our envelopes in our hands, take our letters. And we seal these letters in that sacred love of the Christ. We bless our highest aspirations, desires, hopes, and dreams of 2015. And we see them blessed abundantly and coming forth in new and brighter ways. We pray for this and even greater things. We release and we let go as to how it outpictures, and know that God knows the highest and the best, and wants nothing more than to lavishly express through and as us. And so we open wide for that movement of spirit And for this we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.